Hello and welcome to the Stranger Thoughts portion of the podcast. On tonight's Stranger Thoughts, thought that we would talk about Destiny since it just recently released, and this is the second installment of Destiny, and one of the people that we have with us today actually has the game and played it and
beat it.
And he beat it as well. I didn't know he beat it.
On 2 characters. Except the raid. I haven't done the raid yet because they haven't released it yet.
Right. So, this is Scott, as you know him, and he is going to try to talk to us about Destiny 2. I know Andre, me, and Wes all have some experience with Destiny, them more than me. I just played the beta. But, it seemed kind of cool when I played the beta. Wesley, he dropped off about just not too recently from Destiny.
I stopped playing the game because I kind of got tired of the microtransactions slapping me in the face. So it was more like
Then don't buy the microtransactions.
It was like every load screen was like, oh, hey, you're missing this one item that could boost you past, this or that. And I'm not one to pick, be picky and be like, oh man, I just can't even. But I guess I just kind of got tired after a while with it. I don't know. It does
hit your bank account hard.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But that was just Destiny 1. Destiny 2, I heard it wasn't as bad. I mean, I didn't sit down with it yet.
Well, I can alleviate your problems. First off, you get a lot of those things for free now. You may not get access to the entire roster of the Eververse trading system, but every time you level up, instead of getting Motes Light, because they took away that,
oh wow,
you now get a Bright Enneagram, which gives you stuff from that list. So now you don't have to buy it; you just have to do the work. But you can still buy it.
Okay, I see that. Like I can deal with that.
So buy it.
So buy it today.
Today, I need another Fire Team member.
And you do have Xbox, Wes.
Oh man, yeah.
I do need another Fire Team member, Wes.
I have been neglecting my gaming. Like I haven't been spending a lot of time with it. So
I need a hunter.
Oh,
what are you talking about? You've been neglecting your game. You were just playing freaking Fallout the other day.
But no.
He more like
no.
loads mods in to see what the mods do, and then he leaves.
Exactly. It sounds so sad when you put it like that, though.
I do the same thing on Skyrim.
Because it's like, I want to play Fallout 4. It's just, when I load up my character, and, all the Preston Garvey nostalgia hits me, it's just like, man.
You kind of look like Preston.
Oh, snap.
Dang.
I mean, without the hat. Like, when you take his hat off. Kinda.
Oh man, there's a settlement that needs your assistance. It's like, oh snap.
Don't make me shoot you too. But anyway, did you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Destiny 2?
How long and in depth is the story?
It took me 12 hours.
Really?
Non-stop. But that's with getting up, going to the bathroom, taking a break for a few minutes. And doing extra stuff in between. The whole
How
story.
varied is the gameplay? Is it still Borderlands with shiny powers?
What else do you want? I mean, they have retweaked some of the supers to where instead of just the striker going once, it's now a roaming super where you can do it 2 or 3 times. It's just not as powerful.
So they did that for all of the abilities?
But I know that they got rid of Sunslinger entirely.
No, the Sunslinger. Yeah, the Sunslinger's gone. You don't have and now you have Dawnblade, which is for the puppies. Fling, fire, magic sword. It's fun. It makes me giggle. But, they revamped some of it. They've revamped the entirety of the perk system.
Okay.
And the gear system completely. So it's not just, let me go get this gun. This gun does this. If you have this gun, it does this. If he has that gun, it does that. If I have that gun, it does that. There isn't any random... Like, if you have the Mark 12 hand cannon from
I know what you're
Hake,
talking about. Yeah.
he's got the same perks on that gun as and I got the same perks on.
Okay, so there's
It's
no
not randomized
randomized like you need to keep re-rolling the same gun to get the perfect gun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because everybody was doing that instead of finding a gun that fits their playstyle.
So I said this is the perfect gun, so that they go and grab that.
Exactly.
I mean, but you know that some jackoff is gonna go ahead and say this is the best loadout. If you want to be good, you got to use this loadout because I use this loadout and I get 45 and 0 in Crucible. So
and I want to see his actual gameplay footage because that's wrong. I'm being serious. Like, now you have a kinetic weapon slot and you have a special weapon slot. So now you can have an auto rifle in each slot.
That's interesting.
So the special weapons now do things like, you know, they hold all the fire, electric, and void damage weapons. And that can carry from auto rifles, scout rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, sidearms, what have you. So you can have one of each in each load as long as one. And you can even switch those out with weapon mods. So say the Nightfall this week is Void Burn, but you don't have a Void Burn weapon. You can go to the gunsmith, get, you know, pay the materials to get a Void Burn mod, put it on that gun, and now do its void damage.
Okay. So you can, it's still a good level of the customization.
Yes, the customization is there, plus some now.
Okay.
Because instead of having a shader that does the entirety of your character,
Right.
shaders are now single-use items, and they go on specific armor pieces. So, like, say you like this armor with the, you know, this head with this color scheme, you can put it on there, and it fits the rest. You know, each zone has its own color scheme.
Interesting.
But if you're going to fully deck out your character in one specific pattern, you have to make sure that you have all 7 and that you're going to keep the armor for a while.
And that's why they still have the infusion system. So that you can find the stuff that you like and keep it.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Because that's what that was a pretty good point when they had brought that into the first game, when you were able to keep the one weapon's like abilities, skills, and all of that, but you could use other weapons to infuse
feed it.
Yeah, you could
exactly.
Feed it. And yeah, I like that. That was the one thing about it.
So if you find something that you like, you can keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, but this one's better, but I wasted my last shader on this one. You can infuse it. And you don't have to have a problem with finding them. They come in chests all over the place.
Yeah, you get a lot of them.
You get a lot of them. So it's not like you're going, oh my god, I just got this new armor piece, the one I was looking for, but I wasted it on this one, blah, 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 blah. All you got to do is go find it. And they're in region. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're hard to find. They've also completely reworked the how you do loot with the engrams.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you would go and work up a faction?
Yeah.
All right, instead of doing most of light, they each have their own little badge of honor that you have to get from doing quests and things from them. You turn them in, you get an enneagram that is at this level, and it tells you what level it will be at before you get what you get in there. It will say 214 if you're around 214. Now you can go and bust your level up, come back, and that will actually raise. The only ones that are set
Are the story-based ones?
are the story-based ones, and the ones you get, the actual legendary enneagrams you pick up.
Okay.
The other ones are not locked. They can go up. They won't go up a whole bunch, but they will go up. But, you know, the game has improved. Now, let's get to some of the questions.
Here's my thing.
Go on.
And this is one of the things that I noticed with The Last Destiny, from the outside looking in. Story.
It's there.
We just
is there.
talking about it. We were just talking about it.
Well, I mean,
Well,
there's story. There's story, and then there's story.
Yeah.
There is.
Story
I
is
have no
all
time to
there.
explain why
Yes.
I have no time to explain, and then there's Taken King.
The story
Yes.
is all there. It's no longer locked away in grimoire cards that you have to go look up in third-party act.
But
They
that
now
was the
have
best
full
part.
cinematics. If they don't have a cinematic for it, you can find it in-game.
Okay.
There is no more, let me go get my laptop or my phone so I can turn on the Destiny app so that I can look at this specific Grimoire card that I just got so I can figure out a story for something I did 3 weeks ago.
So they made this more like Halo.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So
All the story is there
Mm-hmm.
for the campaign. The story is there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With cinematics and everybody talking about it and everybody doing things. It may not be the greatest story in the world, but it's there.
Quick interjection.
Yeah.
You know how in the trailers they had a bunch of people like talking about, yeah, we can do it for the loot and for the puppies and most importantly for my ego and stuff like that.
You mean Cade 6? We love Cade 6.
Yeah.
If you say anything bad about Cade 6.
No, but apparently, according to some of the sources I got, nobody actually does anything except for the main character, because that whole trick to how Guardians survive is because their ghosts reincarnate them using light. But since the Traveler's captured and nobody has light anymore, everybody, even the dudes in plate armor with projected shielding, refuse to do absolutely anything because they're terrified of dying. And these are your warriors.
I cannot comment or rebut that.
I mean, when you think about it, though, they're not Spartans, so.
But they do give a story reason of why you're the only one still able to do this stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a story that plot to that. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I do say you should go get this game, even if it's just to play the story and to do the running around and doing that stuff.
You could also
It's still
redbox
fun.
it.
Don't redbox it. Never ever
I mean,
redbox
you beat
a
it
game.
in 2 days, though.
I've done 2 characters in like 3 days.
I mean, so you can,
But then again,
redbox it for like.
But then again,
$6?
I've also not done any of the side stuff either.
Okay.
Oh,
I just did the story, and in just doing the story, have gotten to maximum level. So by the time you've completed the story, you are with everybody else,
Okay.
and you are at a competitive level. You're not like going to be waiting for somebody to get something. Now, there are going to be things that you do have to go run and find, like every other RPG kind of story. But the story is there. There's no loopholes because you don't have to go see Grimoire cards online to find them. The entirety of the story is there. Yes, there are some retweaks, but what sequel doesn't have a retweak?
What about Peter Dinklage, though? Is he still there?
I'm
Don't
just
hurt
as
my
upset.
feelings.
I know, don't hurt my feelings, D.B. Jones. But yes, Dinkbot is there, and it will make you want to kick Gaul in the dick when you finally find out what happened to your ghost when you got kicked off the little ledge. It will make you want to kick him in the dick.
So, now let's get to any complications, anything you personally had with the game. The thing I was talking to you about before with the glitch where basically you get an error after you download it, I did confirm that did happen on PS4, but there was also another glitch that was on Xbox where they had some launch issues.
I can tell you, as of my experience,
Yes.
with the digital download edition, I had no issues whatsoever. I have other friends who've bought it who have had no issues whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Something might have happened with your internet connection, like it dropped off and picked back up, and there's corruption in the data.
Okay.
I can't tell you what happened to yours because I wasn't there and it didn't experience the problem. But anything that you need to do, you've already bought it. If you bought the download edition, all you just need to do is pop the disc in or just restart the download. Erase and restart the download. You have the license for it. It's not that big a deal. Especially if you just bought it and you can't get it, just re-download it before you start calling people and complaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably something that you did. Not saying that everybody's, inept at computers. But it's probably something you did or something that has happened to your console and not the game itself. I had absolutely no issues on launch night at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
The only thing that happened to me was I had a 15-minute wait to play the game because there wasn't enough server space. Which is fine now because the game is, almost a week in?
Yeah.
So,
true.
and the other thing that I didn't really like about it is the wait times for like strikes and Crucible, but that's just because I usually play at night and most people are in bed.
Strikes have a wait time?
Well, everything's matchmaking now.
Oh.
So, and I can't tell you, I don't have any experience with this, but for people who have never done a raid, how many, put your hands up, how many of you never done a raid that actually played the game?
I've raided.
I've done raids.
But
Well,
now
then
you don't
against me.
Now you don't have to find a group.
Okay.
They will have what is called guided games to find you a group for you.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, they're calling this game guides because there are people who weren't able to play because they didn't have friends who played. You will not be able to complete the hard mode through the matchmaking.
I mean, that's fine. I
Which
really
is
just
fine,
wanted to
because
complete the
whatever.
raid in the first place. But the raids in Destiny 1 were fucking stupid.
Get out.
Okay. No, but seriously, no, they were stupid.
Yeah, they were. Just stupid hard. But the point is, you will now be able to have a raid group found for you. And a lot of times it will be somebody who's in a clan and they have the rest of their clanmates or the rest of their friends with them. So when you go into this, it's actually people who are, and I do quote, people who are actually trying to help other gamers do this. Like they just need one or two people because somebody dropped out.
I got you.
And their friends Lester couldn't come.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do the hard mode raid, but who really cares about hard mode raid? We're there for the loot in the story. And half the time in the hard mode, it's just the same gun with a different color scheme. Anyway, so...
Okay.
All I gotta say is if they do another Crota or like Crota bullshit where it's like you gotta go and run out there because his presence is so overwhelming that if you step out there for like a half a second, he's just going to annihilate your entire being and then you're going to be locked out for like 45 minutes while everybody else runs around, tries to get a chalice, run the chalice up to the thing, then hit the thing, and then jump jet halfway across the map to smack him once with a sword and then flee like your ass is about to catch on fire so that you can wait another 15 minutes to do it again. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't need to do that. Just give me my strikes. I'm just going to run in there. I'm going to shoot people with my gun because that's what my gun's there for, to shoot people, and then I'm going to leave.
Who did you do that raid with?
Dude, I've tried.
Here's how it works. You get the chalice, you get the sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy who, everybody gets at that front glass plate, and everybody uses their rocket launcher, hits him. Then he comes up there with the sword, whacks him 2 or 3 times while he's down, and then he books it back, and everybody books it back inside. Everybody then does all the killing of the little guys, get the chalice, you go back out, you get the sword, rinse, repeat. It takes you 3 of those goes to do that. It takes you less than 5 minutes to do it that way.
I ran that raid, got to that point, and wiped in I think 3 minutes. Repeatedly for a period of about 2 hours. I am done with raids. The groups I ran it with pickup groups. It's obvious that it was the people that were playing it because I got it for PlayStation 3. So it's obvious that the people who were still playing the raids on PS3 were the ones who couldn't afford to move to PS4 when the game launched there.
And that's fine.
But it was just every single raid ended that badly. It's enough that I actually just, even if they made the raids give you freaking glittering candy for showing up, I would never actually bother. Because to me, all that extra loop-de-loop runaround isn't fun. It's like you build your entire game about getting the shoot bang, then using the shoot bang to shoot them and watch them go bang, and then you run into a guy, it's like, you can't shoot bang this guy. It's like, this gun shoots shurikens and lightning. It shoots actual lightning. What do you mean I can't take this shuriken gun and just shoot him in the facial region?
In the facial region.
What is he made out of? And why can't I get bullets made out of that stuff? Because apparently it's really good.
The darkness.
Apparently it's really good.
Well, obviously, because it destroyed everything, and then all we have left is Guardians.
Well, I don't know because I've
And
heard
let's
a lot of
face it-
things though about that.
All right, let me put you through the rest. The Taken King
Mhm.
wasn't like that. Did it have its puzzle challenges for the raids? Yes. But they were completable. Crota was difficult in my first go round, but that's because I had
What about the
nobody to tell me
fucking giant
how to do
ogre? Where you had to shoot its stomach with the like
that
I didn't
was like that was easy.
No,
That was easy though, as long as you had people all on the same page.
like no, like that was what was confusing me because there was so much going on, and then everybody was shouting contradictory instructions because it was like you had to go, and then there's like the little things up there, and I'm pretty sure you're supposed to shoot the thing to turn him around so you can shoot the weak point on his back, but everybody's like, no, you have to do the glitch where you get into the corner of the wall and you fire at him, and then it's like everybody's trying to do that,
Okay,
and then
see-
he'd look and scream, and then a bunch of people would die, and then everybody else would start shouting, like.
I want to know what the hell he's doing, because I don't think this is the same game that I've played.
I really wish I could record these shit shows and
Okay.
show them to
Now,
you.
every time, like, that's why they've built in this matchmaking system. To where if you don't like the group that you're with because they're trying to just do a glitch to get through, you can back out and then go find another group.
It doesn't penalize you like
It doesn't penalize you. If you're having trouble, that's why this matchmaking system has been made. It's for people who like him and like me, who've only maybe been able to do one raid or no raids at all, to be able to complete a raid all the way through.
Because technically, if you buy this game, you play it all the way through, and you never do the raids, that means you're paying for content that you never experience.
Right.
So that's why they've made this matchmaking system.
Which
So,
should have been in there the first
This
place.
game... look, not everybody thought it was going to be that hard to complete a fucking raid.
Yeah.
Let's
Nobody
be honest.
actually kind of did see that coming, but they did a good job on keeping people on their toes.
And I will tell you, the raid is not the end of the story. You will finish the story campaign in the story. Unlike the Taken King, where you had to go do the raid to finally kill Oryx. Or to kill Crota, you had to do the raid. Or,
Yeah.
to finish the story, you had to go do the Vault of Glass. No, the story ends at the end of the story.
Which means I've
You
never
kill
actually
Gaul at the end of the story.
That means I've never actually beaten any of Destiny because I've just done the basic story stuff and I've tried to do the raids. Like the first part of Crota, I loved the first part of Crota. Running through and you just have like endless hive just rushing at you with the exploders and everybody's just like rushing through and they get the armor.
oh my god.
Yeah, and no, like or
And
like
then
people
by
like
the
punching and there's shockwaves and there's explosions and everything's super tense, everything's super rushed. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Doing the puzzle, like the puzzle to get across the bridge, that's good stuff. What I don't like is for my bosses to be puzzles.
The bosses aren't usually hard puzzles, though.
I don't want my boss to be puzzles. I want it to
You had
be
a shitty group. That was your problem. You had a shitty group that did not explain to you the roles of what everybody needed to do. And that's why we now have guided games where people who have clans and, regular groups
I just want to be able to shoot the guy till he dies.
Well, then you can have that.
I get what Andre's saying though. They're gimmicks. It's just like a good example of a good boss fight that does not do that. I think did we already mention it?
Go ahead, say it again.
It was Dark Souls. Did we already mention Dark Souls?
No, we haven't
I
mentioned
thought we
Dark
mentioned
Souls.
Dark Souls. Okay.
We were talking about it before we started.
That's right. Okay. No, Dark Souls did a good job of giving you that same feeling of dread when you go to a boss fight. You know it's a boss fight, and you know that it's going to be a tough job. But with the stages, it's like, yeah, Crota was good for if you wanted to get into the dodge game, dodging different attacks, and if it really hit a really good demographic with that. People want good
But see, I
puzzles
never
with their
had
boss
that
fights.
with my experience of Crota.
No. I'm not
My
saying
experience
that
with Crota was, okay, we're all going to stand in a line when we're ready to shoot him. And we're all going to use our rocket launchers to shoot him.
Yeah.
Then he's going to go down into like a state of going, you got shot by like 8, 9, 10, and like the guy with the sword who is hiding in the corner, he's going to go,
But see, that's the
boom.
thing. Yeah.
And then
that's-
he books ass because he just did like 6,000 damage to this thing after we've done it.
Right.
What a lot of what you've experienced in raids is people trying to do glitches so that they can figure out how to solo it later.
No, but
As
what I was saying though is the fact that when you're doing a boss fight, there's two different types of a boss fight. You have what we have here, and again, if you get the good squad and they're running it through with you, everything's gonna go smooth and you're gonna get out of there. But what we're talking about is a fight where there is no plan. It's you go in there and there's this big mofo and you just gotta shoot him down because he's gonna do this backhand thing and throw you against a wall or whatever. And it's no real, you can find a little spot to hide, but there's no scripted event that has to occur in order for you to.
That's why we have strike bosses. If you like those, you go do
Yeah.
those. If you don't,
I mean, that's the reason why
I hit my Xbox button.
But I mean, that's the reason why I did so many strikes, because I did like the strikes.
Right.
I just thought I wanted my strikes to be a bit beefier. I wanted them to have some raid-like components to it. I just don't want the raid boss.
Yeah, and that's
Well, see, they've
That's
done
what
it to where, okay, maybe you might have to do a stage or two in between the boss. Like, he shows up and you have to do something to bring down his shield. But they've never done it to that extent anymore. Like when they did the House of Wolves DLC. When they didn't have a raid, per se.
But yeah, but you still.
But they had the Prison of Elders. And the hardest hard mode of the Prison of Elders was kind of like the raid, where you had to beat Skolas again. And
Yeah.
there was a
And
little
let me tell you
mechanic-
how much that pissed me off that you couldn't do it with two people.
You can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
He hits you with that plague, and then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pass it off.
Use the sword. Well, you could only do that once you got to the Taken King. But if you did it, once you got the Taken King, there was a glitch in the system where you could actually solo it as long as you had the sword. And as the counter went down to like 2, you pull out your sword, and on 1 you'd block, and it would actually make the plague disappear.
Brandon and I tried to kill that guy for 3 hours,
And I
we
just soloed it in
20 minutes. And we just determined that it's not. If you if you don't use a glitch and you go according to the rules, you have to have 3 people in order to pull it off. Because once you pass it, you can't pass it back to the person who had it. So that means you have to constantly bounce it around. That was cool. We could do that. It's just you can't do it with 2 people, which is stupid.
But anyway, I digress. A lot of things have changed about Destiny 2 that will actually make you feel a little bit better. It is a bit grindy, but what game isn't these days?
That's true too.
So overall,
I say give it a chance. If you don't give it a chance, they'll come and kick you in the dick.
I'll play someone else's. I don't know if I'll buy one myself, but
That's
I play
just
some.
because you're not a shooting game.
Yeah, I'm not a shooting gamer. I'm sorry, I
You
just can't.
guy. You.
Dre, what's your take on it? You're just
I'm gonna
reserved and wait.
Yeah, I'm very much I'm gonna just hold off and see.
Yeah. And
We made a lot of jokes. We said that, yo, Wesley, you're gonna run up and get it. You're gonna go and get it.
But
I would try it. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably gonna try it.
I mean, in my case,
So,
I've still
I've
got
got
to
a-
work through Andromeda as well as Mordheim
That's
and
your fault.
Absolver. Yeah, no, like seriously, no, it's
All
my
right, so
fault.
we're not talking about that anymore.
and Final Fantasy.
And Final Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, but
Out of 2 or 3 people, at least 2 of you would at least give it a shot. And you want to go into Redbox. Never get... Public service announcement, do not get your games through Redbox.
They are filled with syphilis.
They are filled with syphilis and hives that will make your game system shut down. And half of them you have to find some way to get the download because they don't allow you to download the disc.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Like if you get the new Call of Duty through Redbox because you want to play it and try it out, you don't get the story campaign. You only get the multiplayer.
That's
Do not get you do not get games from Redbox. Don't do it. Just no. Bad little minion. Buy it from GameStop or Walmart like normal people.
Buy, he says.
Ha! I've never bought a game in my life.
Or wait till it goes on sale online and get it. Just get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that has been Stranger Thoughts. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with What's the Deal. So stay tuned.